Live Friday night. It's FSBRacing.com and the Winston Cup Series at Indianapolis revamped. Huge point implications here and a 22 car field on this exciting historic track. This is Mel Minder Jr. along with the voice
Just
of
like I told these boys in the
FSB,
meeting, we don't need
Ray
anything over the
Bernardo.
top today. We got a good race
Hey
car, we
Doug
got
Melty,
a good
Gray.
what's
driver,
going
we got
on?
a
What's
good
going
picture.
on, everyone?
All we got to do
Great,
is just everybody
great
carry the weight.
field, great
We'll
turnout
be
here
just fine
for
at the end of this thing.
Indianapolis Motor
10-4.
Speedway, Melty. Very
See you, bud.
difficult, technical, long track. So good to see a nice field here for Winston Cup Friday night. We got a great points battle with Matt Watkins, Mark DeCenza. They're starting pole, and right behind him, Mark right there in third. So it should be a great race, Melty.
Well, and this is a cheese grater, and the most important thing is getting through turn one, first of all, and then keeping the car on the track. Side by side racing is very difficult. The outside line has a huge disadvantage.
Yeah, and we can see our field is queued up here, Melty. And
Drivers,
we're getting the
start
command.
your engine!
Well, if we're going to go with picks, I'm going to, which I just thought of that right now. I'm going to go with my buddy Sammy in the back there, man. He's on a roll lately.
Yeah, he's back and better than ever. New equipment, Milty. So that's always an interesting thing. We see Matty Watkins went to the new steering wheel, the G27, from his old Momo, and he's had some growing pains with it. But we can see he's on the pole tonight. So growing pains aside, he's ready to go. Jeff Hale on the outside pole in that awesome Trans Am. Probably my favorite paint on the whole field there, Milty.
Yeah, and Jeff's really good here, and he's going to definitely be a threat. And Matt, these guys are going to really go after each other here. Matt's got more points implications, I think, to deal with than Jeff. I think Jeff's just going to go for the win.
Well, yeah, and let's face it, Jeff likes to be in the front row. He'd probably rather be, believe it or not, I think he would probably rather be first and second even. He's
That's
probably
front
thinking
row
about
Jeff.
that. Yeah, it's front row Jeff. And let's see if he can drag race Matt Watkins down this long front straightaway, Milty, and maybe get in ahead of him into that first 1 and 2 complex, and then see what he can do. This is one of the most unique tracks in the world, Milty, and we'll get into it a little later because I want you use your expertise here with what you know about this track, and it's a challenge for these guys, and 22, I believe, 22 car field tonight, Milty. So it should be pretty entertaining. 56 laps doesn't sound like a lot, but it's 2.5 miles,
Yeah,
Milty.
it is here. Back home again in Indiana. As they get ready for, we got the Smoking You Bandit Pontiac on the outside, and it's green, green, green. Let's
Green
go.
flag is out, and Matt and Jeff lead the field down. And you can see Matt making a move to the outside, not so much, remember, no passing to the backstretch. Matt
Get
just
in
looking
line there.
for
Yep.
about a preferred line there, and you can see the field gets a little wide with Ken Hansen taking a
Jeff
really
Lewis there.
wide angle there.
Jeff
Uh,
Loose there, and the rocket is all over him. Hanson on the outside there.
yeah, and we have side
Yep.
by side Sean Reed, Ken Hansen for looks like what fourth and fifth place there, and Sean looks like he's losing that battle with that draft forming up on the outside of him. And Jerry took that spot as well, but now Jerry gets a little loose. He saves it very nicely. Let's see if he can keep it together here in this short shoot, Milty. And again, this track, Milty, there's plenty of places for this track to grab you and bite you bad.
Really, the smart play is to stay in line here. This place is a cheese grater. And the Cup cars, I mean, you're talking like 11 to 12 laps. That's it you can do. Your tires are done.
Yeah, and we see
Tires
the
almost worse than fuel here.
yeah, I would think that the guys are going to be looking to check in for tires much quicker than they're going to be needing a top up for running out of fuel here. Matt Watkins still our leader. Jeff Hale, like you said, Milty, got a little out of shape going into one there, but he's good. He's right behind him. Mark DeSenza's still breathing right on his tail, though. And like you said, Mark wants to get up to Matty, and I think he wants to shadow Matt Watkins this whole race. And hopefully, when an opportunity jumps, he's going to pounce on that lead position. But I don't think Mark wants to be back in the pack. I don't think he wants to leave anything to chance with this tough Winston Cup points race, Milty. That may be the most fierce battle I've seen in points in recent memory.
Many drivers can win this thing here, and this is a pivotal race as we get somewhere around the halfway point of the season.
Yeah, well, we're well past that, Milty, as we were. I think there's only 2 races remaining, Milty. So
Oh,
yeah.
there's no kidding.
Yeah, we're well past halfway. Yeah. Current events, Milty. Current events.
Well, I'm trying to multitask right here and get the broadcast on this smart TV I got, and I'm having a hard time with that.
Yeah, and we're looking at this top 5 battle. Matt Watkins leading the procession. Ken Hansen bringing up the 4th position. Sean right behind him there in 5th. And then a little gap back to the 34 car Isaac Johnson. Isaac is on a roll in Pro Cup, Milty. Let's talk about the kid and possibly a Pro Cup championship at such a young age, Milty. And tell me what that would mean if Isaac were to pull off a Pro Cup championship at a tender age.
Well, at any age, you don't realize how hard it is to win that until you've won it, and then you realize you may never get another chance to win it again. Commitment, showing up every race, and finishing well and winning. The competition level is at the highest it's ever been here.
Yeah, we have a side-by-side battle now. There's some smoke on the track as well. I don't know if there's a caution out. I can't see the lights just yet. Oh, there's a little contact between Matt Watkins and Mark DeSenza as well, Milty. And Jeff Hale takes the lead. Ken Hansen pushing Mark DeSenza on that inside line. And looks like Mark is going to take that second position. There was contact there, Milty. And boy, that would have been something right there if the 1 and 2 placed runners were to take each other out on lap 2 here.
Well, and you're talking 3,500-pound cars running around this track with only about 12 degrees banking in the corners, so not very much.
And Mark just powers into the lead with man, that was a big time power move by Mark DeSenza. And I think Mark now after that little brush is like, forget this, I'm going. And if people are going to stay up with me, so be it. But I'm not going to get involved in anything more now. Leave nothing to chance. And the best place to be, Milty, you know it, is in the lead.
Well, and Mark, that's what he do. I mean, he's fast. He's you see him already spreading on the field. He has that innate ability to run faster laps out front with the downforce. That's another thing he's getting here is he's getting downforce on the front end of that car. So, and that especially helps in these corners right here.
Yeah, and check
Plus
out that
vision.
Check out that scene going down the front stretch there, Milty, and you can see how long that front stretch is, and the draft does play a big role here. You see Mark still leading. Jeff Hale tucked in right behind him, second place. Matt Watkins third, Ken Hansen fourth. Sean Reap still holding on to that 5th position. Isaac has joined this pack with that mix-up at the front there. That allowed Isaac to pick up some ground there, Milty, and he's made the most of it. He's hooked on to Sean there, and he's in that lead pack draft now. And then there's a gap back now to Webb, and nice job there by the youngster again, showing the skill and taking advantage of some of the veterans mixing it up in front of him.
Well, you got the second pack falling back there now with P7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. with Steve Weber leading that. That's how quickly, Indianapolis with the. I mean, they're already halfway through a run, probably. Uh, dealing with that tire dag, and how fast you should push, and how much you want to save, and how much you think you can get later on the run is what you got to think about. And they've lost some ground here. They're still within a reasonable number. They need to really push here.
Yeah, and we can also see Milty now. We'll call him the second pack, led by Weber there. Pops right behind him. The '07 Ken Soska right there. I believe that's TG. Good seeing TG back, and also Milty. Let's get him in while the getting's good here. The 060 has made a reappearance, and always good to see people who are in transition come back. Show up for at least run a few races. It's always good to see that.
Yeah, a lot of guys with wins this year here that are running back about P10, P15. Diversified, strong field. The competition level is at its highest here.
Yeah, and we're looking at this lead pack still. There's 62 car Sean Reap in a great battle in FSB Cup, Milty, as well. And talk about this, Milty, since you've obviously taken home a lot of hardware in your time. When you're running multiple series and you're in like a real tough points battle, doesn't it sharpen your skills for the rest of the series, regardless of where you're standing in those?
Well, back in the day, we didn't have like FSB Cup and Pro Cup. We had like Sportsman and Pro Cup, but Monday nights were basically like a tune-up for Wednesday. So it was all about Wednesday and Pro Cup. So we got in a rhythm for years with the way the schedule was to run, Monday night as a test session, and then Wednesday night was the go session.
Yeah, I think guys here that are running in the Pro Cup, FSB Cup, and in points battles and stuff, it really forces you to take in the big picture of racing, and not just I got to win and nothing else is acceptable. And I think in a race like these races here on Winston Cup with the big fields and of course the mix of competition with basically, let's say, rookies to 20-year veterans here, Milty, I think it's a big advantage to have your skills real sharp in maybe another series where it really matters to you.
And in my opinion, the most important part of that with NASCAR 2003 is pit stops. And eyeballing Josh Elliker here with the win coming back. Can't remember what series, but and he is looking strong here in this second pack. And these guys better have practiced their pit stops, because Indy's one of the hardest. It's looking GF right here.
Yes, it is, Milty, and I'm really might sound like a broken record. I'm really impressed with this green flag run to start this race.
This track is hard,
it's a track that if you just get a little out of shape with, like you said, with no banking, you got really nothing to fall back on. The car is just going to come around whether you like it or not. And this second pack is getting a tick racy now, Milty, as I think tire wear might be playing a role right now, as we see Isaac dropping back just a bit from this lead pack. Mark trying to stretch that lead, but really now Matt Watkins and Jeff Hale also swapping second and third. Really hasn't been able to stretch his legs here just yet from the field. And Ken Hansen right in the thick of things, coming off of that really hard-fought win a couple weeks ago, Milty, that we broadcasted. And like I said during that broadcast, that might have been one of the most intense races I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
And there he is again, right
Sharp
up
on pit
front.
road.
And we may
Good
be seeing
pinky
some
on pit
scheduled
road.
stops, Milty, for guys that aren't happy with the way their tire wear is going on. And
Pro Cup, you'd already be, or FSB Cup, you'd be stopping. So these cars are slower and get a little better fuel mileage and
yeah,
better
and
tire wear.
as
So,
we
but they're about done.
as we trickle toward the back of the field, there's our teammate there in the 98, Sammy Young. Sam's just taking it easy, he said. He just wants to log some laps here in the beginning and see where it takes him. Maybe a timely caution is all he needs here. And Guy Petra right behind him. I think they're just maybe looking for maybe a full fuel run as well. And Sammy is capable of the patience when it calls for it. A lot of people think
We got a
Sammy
pass
is
for
all
the
about
lead.
going, but as we get back toward the end of this field, Matty Watkins reassumes the lead in there, Milty. Good call. Mark DeSenza back to second. Jeff Hale still right there in third. Ken and
He just laid
Sean.
down and let him go by.
Well,
He's got ulterior motives here. Let's check the
this
chat. The scanners are clear. We know they can go a little bit farther on fuel than the Pro Cup cars, but we'll see as they come
yeah,
around.
we're on lap 15
3 and
right
4.
now, Milty. And like you said, right about now in Cup, you would be like, man, I'm needing some tires. Um,
18 would give you the fuel window if this thing goes green. Just FYI.
well, I think you'd need to get to 19.
19,
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
I think you
Yep.
need to stretch. Now, of course,
Yes,
if
sir.
that's what you're thinking, Milty, early on, there's several ways to get to that 19 as well. You could do 16 and 20.
Especially if you have caution, but you almost have to stop no matter
Yeah,
what.
and now we're
for
also
tires when you get a
seeing
chance.
as we look at our top 10 there in the top right corner of the screen, there's Matty Watkins coming up on some lap traffic
Oh,
real quick, and that's Chet Barkin.
boy.
And woo wee, yeah, he got
Chet's
up on
a
him enough.
handful now. Good job, guys. No harm, no foul.
And,
But these other cars are coming through. Lap times. Best lap for Matt Watkins, 51.6. Last lap, 52.2. So tells you how much
Absolutely,
day
and
we
Matty
got.
Watkins getting in on the apron there and got up a little wide and really close to the wall there in the short chute, Milty, and that's always a concern here. If you get on that apron just a bit,
Pit. Box, box, box. We got DeCenza in the 6, Guy Petra 151 in the Monsoon Cobra. So
and
far.
we'll follow these leaders. And there's Mark DeSenza right behind Matty Watkins. Guy Petra is already on pit lane getting his service, as we just saw right there. And here come our leaders. It looks like one more lap for Mark DeSenza and this whole lead group.
They're
Let's
playing
go.
the field game here, and
Yeah.
also they got track positions.
And
So
the
why
second
not?
pack also no takers, Milty. And as we go back further, still no takers with Brian Lamb and Sammy Young.
Matt's working on a computer for me for the future of my sim racing career. I'm very excited about that, and I appreciate his help there.
Oh yeah, and that's in good hands right there for sure.
Absolutely.
Even though he's a Nintendo fan, Milty, he can actually work a computer too.
He can
I've heard.
work anything technically, and a sim racing car. And here we come again. No chats here.
Yeah,
No
and we see
radio
some cars peeling off here.
This is a.
Uh-oh,
they're
Jeff
clearing
Hale.
the pit road.
Jeff.
Hail into the wall.
Yeah, and there's a big pillar there. I apologize. Let me switch some camera angles here. There we go. And Jeff is out of the race.
He's done. He done. Oh my God.
I don't know if there was contact there, Milty, or if he just spun trying to lock up getting into pit lane. We might need to take another look at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at that right now.
But we do see Mark DeSenza and Sean Reap in for their service. So let's see how. I don't know if there was any contact or damage for Mark or Sean.
keep up with the action. I'll take a look at it while you're following the current
And
events here.
or Dog also coming in for his service. And Matty Watkins laying some rubber down as he comes in. Oh my goodness. And and there's more contact, and there's some big time contact here at the entrance to pit lane. Webb around caution is out. So this is a big advantage. Let's see if
Oh, looks like Ken Hansen
and there's
just brushed the 29, and then he got double hit by the
and there's
62,
disaster.
and then head on into the
It's disastrous though here, Milty, with a big time pile up at the entrance to pit lane. Matty Watkins already in. He's going to get his service under caution here, Milty, and this could be a big turning point in this race early on. Mark DeSenza out on the track, Matty Watkins on pit lane, but we are under caution right here. So let's see what happens. Isaac beats Matty Watkins out. Maybe Isaac, recognizing that yellow flag, did a two-tire stop and got out in front of Matt.
You don't want two tires on that, though, man.
I don't know. We'll have to look. And there we see Mark DeSenza behind those two. So we're going to have to reset this whole field. We
got two serious wrecks there we got to try to cover there. It looks like he covered the one. But
yeah, we're going to have to... First, let's go back to the Jeff Hale incident first, Milty.
Yeah, that was just a brush by... I don't know if he didn't see the auto chat or if Jeff hung it out there. He was trying to get by, but just a tight touch, and then he came right across in front of Sean Reap. And,
let's take a look at
into the wall, dude.
Let's take a look at what happens here. We're seeing the pack here with Jeff Hale on lap 18, which is the lap that they were coming in on, and let's see what kind of things happened here. Yeah, and we can hear the tires got kind of lifted off the ground there, Milty, by Ken Hansen. We can see Ken going wide there. Let's see if we can get you a better camera angle here. And there we go. We can see as Jeff was slowing down, Ken got slightly, as you said, Milty, so slightly into the back bumper. And that was just enough to put Jeff sideways. Ken went wide. Looks like maybe brushed the outside wall as he went down to complete another lap. But Jeff, unfortunately, hard into the inside wall and then into that pit lane dividing wall there, right head first. And that's all she wrote for Jeff. Now, Milty, after that, looked like Webb and group were involved in another melee. And we're going to take a look at that now as we see Webb coming around for one more lap here. And as we see him go down the back straight here, obviously we're thinking these guys are signaling for pits, etc., etc. And as we see this group come in, Milty, we'll see a calamity ensue here.
Well,
and there's the contact right there. Let's go back. Yeah, we see Webb just caught. Looked like he was trying to get to the inside of Chet there. Just looked like caught the corner of his car, Milty.
Like we were talking about, it's so hard to get into the pit road here, and
then once Webb and Chet hard into that inside wall, just like Jeff Hale, and then Webb backing up out of control, kind of blocks pit lane, and then other guys committed into pit lane. We see Sam coming in. He's hard. You see him down onto the gears, locking up, and he gets into Lamb as well, and a hard hit there for Sammy and Lamb. And hopefully those guys are okay, but the caution is out. And we're back live now, Milty, and that's a lot to take in right there.
Absolutely.
So Jeff Hale out of the race, Webb involved, Chet involved, Sammy and Lamb also involved in that. We don't know if Mark, or I don't think Mark didn't have any damage there. I don't know if Sean caught anything from Jeff Hale. It doesn't look like it because he did his 4 tires and fuel. But we're under caution, lap 23, Milty. So this has possibly turned into a one-stop race now for the field. Let's reset this running order as well. Isaac beating out Matt Watkins, Milty. And I don't know if you could look back on Isaac's stop to see how he pulled that off, but he did it.
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
And we see the lights are still on the pace car, Milty. This is a long caution. And I think with that mess on pit lane, some guys might have gone laps down. The 23 car is just showing a lap down, but we're seeing a lot of 3 cars on the tail end of the lead lap, Milty. And Sammy stopped in the access road there.
Oh, boy. Now 4 tires for the 34. The 21 came around him, Jerry Walters, and did a perfect, and that's so hard to do. These guys are good. Got right in the stall. Isaac was watching him come by, teammates, and he perfectly executed that. So when Isaac had to come out, he had that thing cranked all the way to the right and just smoked the tires, came out. And it's one thing when you got a clear run and you don't have nobody in front of you, but when you execute like that with teammates around you, that was a good team pit stop for Thor Dog Racing right there.
Yeah, and that's very impressive against maybe
that's Penske right there.
Possibly the best pit stopper of all time, and that's Matt Watkins, Milty. So you beat Matt Watkins out of on a drag race there. That's doing something big time.
Yeah, you can't beat him out of a phone booth. That's for sure.
And we see right now 14 cars still on the lead lap, so a lot to race for. Guy Petra is on point here, Milty, but he is 15th, which is on the tail end of the lead lap. Isaac is our leader. So if a caution were a quick caution, Guy Petra will be able to gain back that lap, Milty. So might see some tough racing here at the front, and then Mark DeSenza behind those two, and Matty Watkins even further back. So this will be very interesting. Matt Watkins back in 6th place. So we'll see how this restart shakes out with the lights out on the pace car.
Well, I'm still having trouble on my big screen trying to watch the broadcast, but some other people are watching, and my buddy Brandon Martin from Sanger, California is watching, and he says FSB rules, and great broadcast so far on the Twitch feed.
Yeah, we always appreciate live viewers. We know that it's, we got a lot of things to do in life, so we appreciate taking any time out to listen to Milty babble on about something. So that takes that says a lot about your friends there, Milty.
Yeah, I don't know how they put up with me.
Yeah, no kidding. Pace car's off, and we're getting ready to go back green flag racing. Let's see what Guy Petra does here, Milty. He's very capable of winning this race, so I wouldn't think that he can't lead laps here.
Car's pitting as trying to apparently get rid of black flags here, or they have damage.
And Guy goes very high and almost into the wall, and he does go into the wall, and I don't know what's going on. He's very slow. I don't know if he had something go wrong with his steering or driving there, Milty, but something went happened to the guy there. Uh, but he definitely got out of the way of the leaders. Isaac is our leader. Martesenza second, Sean Reap third. There's our running top 10. And how about up to fourth, Milty? T.G. Reese.
Yeah, he's looking for a good run. He was pretty quiet on T-Speak tonight, just saying hi and everything. He sounded real focused tonight.
And remember, I think if we can think back to last season, Milty, that's kind of the way he was. And all of a sudden, I think we were talking to him after the race because he won.
He was on the podium and he won.
So, yeah, he's right there now, Milty. And you know, when you don't race frequently, like in a series or something,
Boy.
and you show up and you get that, you know, you're up in that top 5 right now, and you're with Matt Watkins and Mark, and you know, guys that are, you know, the perennial up front guys, your juices get flowing.
These guys better get to going here, 6th through 10th. They should have learned the last time this pack really gets going at the start. You really got to go balls out right here at the start and then back it off. You don't want to lose contact with those leaders. You can't get them back.
Yeah, and we see some guys still going down pit lane, Milty, and I think I saw Ken Hansen, who had a really good car early on. He's in his pit stall. I don't know if he got a time penalty there or what, but
Guy Petra is disconnected.
and
The 09 pitting, the 98 pitted. I think the
might have been some black flags or time penalties having to be served here, and
09 had damage. I don't know about the 9. What happened?
yeah, we know that Sammy and Lamb did get into some contact there.
Up. 3-4 cars on pit road trying to figure out something. That smells like penalties to me.
Yeah, I think so, Milty. And with an incident at pit lane, sometimes you know you get penalized because you enter backwards or sideways, or you hit the cone or something. So a lot of things can happen. But this lead pack now, as you said, Milty, I think they got your message. TG up to 4th, Matt Watkins 5th, but now here come Pops and Jerry and Webb, and they've caught this lead group,
That's
Milty.
what they did. Absolutely. That's, you know, at the start you want to always be pensive, and I know I always am, especially if I don't run at this level for a while and I come back into a race. I may qualify good, but I don't. You don't get that intensity. You realize how good these guys are until you get back on the track, and that first run you kind of get smoked, you know. Then the next time you really need to get up on the wheel at the start and go, and Pops is executing that.
Yeah, and you know, yeah, and Pop's really been you know, a road warrior this season, or what do we call him? The Clydesdale, Milty. He's been up there. He knows what it takes to win. You know, he wins on the short track, Milty. He's won on road courses, road rage, super speedway. He can win in any given discipline. And look at him right now. He's right where he needs to be. About halfway through this race, he's right up with the lead pack, right behind Matt Watkins. And I'll tell you what, not a bad guy to follow up through the field, Milty.
I'm impressed with the 62. He handled all that carnage around him. There was the first pit stop when the first chaos started, and he did make some contact. That team pushed that thing out pretty good. He still got good track position. It seems like
yeah, and he's just tucked in right behind Mark Cosenza, Milty.
Like the car is still good. So.
It looked like almost a little contact there.
A little wiggle for TG in fourth, but what a great run for TG. I've run TG back at CC Racing back in the day, and he was always good at Indy.
Oh, yeah, and he's showing right now he's really good, Milty. He's up to 4th, and he's really in touch with with our leaders here. Matt Watkins actually has fallen back just a
Yeah, I
tick.
just was just gonna say that.
Now this again. I think if we're saying green flag here, Milty, I think it's a one-stop race here if I'm looking at the numbers. So if you're Matt Watkins here, you want to max out this run and you want to hit that pit stop and win on pit lane.
Yeah, he's right now. His computer brain is going. Okay, because with sim racing, you got to be the pit crew and the driver, and he's got that ability to hang it out sideways while he's thinking, okay, change the strategy. I see how this race is going.
Yeah, we can
Time
see.
to start saving fuel.
Yep, absolutely, and I think let's try to jump into Matt's mind here. He's looking at who's in front of him. TG, who he knows hasn't been racing a lot lately, so maybe Matt's thinking TG might make a little mistake here or there that I can capitalize on. As we see Webb and Elliker side by side down the back stretch there, Milty. But Webb thinking better of it and tucking back in. You got to really tuck in here, Milty, to get that preferred line turning into these odd turns.
Well, why Matt is the greatest of all time here at the GOAT is, and won the most races, is because of his intensity. He's very respectful, soft-spoken in public, and great friend. When he's behind the wheel, he's got a tiger by the tail. And his teammates will tell you on TeamSpeak, all of a sudden he's like, roar! And, that's kind of, you got to have that edge if you want to
and you're
race like he does. There he goes on the inside.
Yeah, and TG made a nice move on Sean Reap there, Milty, and he taken over to third position. Matt Matt wanted to go with him, but I think Sean said only one's allowed, Matt, for right now. So
no teammates around the 15, and they know who he is. So.
Oh yeah, and
nobody's. But Jerry Walters, here he goes again, taking a look.
Yeah.
That's just how you do it in Indy. Get right up their tailpipe, and then take that look.
And then drag race them down the straightaways, and then get that inside turn in. And now Sean is kind of hung out to dry there, Milty, on the outside.
That's good racing by Sean. This guy's smart. He knows how to race. He'll pick and choose. Got a long way to go.
Absolutely.
Get back in line.
Yeah, he gave up a couple positions there. Pops on the inside, Josh Elliker on the inside.
Here.
And you mentioned that 47 early on.
Ooh, come on, son. This guy's good, man.
Yeah, you mentioned that 47 car earlier, Milty, and he's still right there in the thick of things.
Look how he goes on the inside.
Nice move really by Pops. Yeah, it is. He really puts that car where he wants to. And now let's see if he can carry that speed down the long straightaways here. With this under horsepower cars, it's a tough straightaway if you miss it.
Yep, this is home ground for Pops.
And side by side into one, Milty. That's I don't know if there. Yeah, I don't know if there's a little contact by Sean and Josh, or if Josh got a little loose and locked it up. But they all come out of it cleanly. But Sean takes back that position.
This particular version of this track is a little, on the original version, you can breeze that white line and go under it. This one is a little bit less forgiving.
Yes, it is. And you can see there's that gap, Milty, between the white line and then there's asphalt, and then there's that brick or curbing, which is on the old version. You could really abuse that curbing if you needed to.
The 6 is taking over on Isaac. We got so many battles here, we don't know what to cover.
Yeah, and we're riding right now with Isaac as we look at Mark DeSenza ahead of him. And Isaac really affording himself pretty well, holding off Mark for about 4 or 5 laps there. Now Mark
as a young man.
He certainly has.
And you don't get victories if you don't play the averages and race to finish well instead of race
And,
just to win. And he's shown that he's got speed, skills, and his dad Ryan has done well. And Team Thor Dog, they really mentor him, and he takes it in. And he's young people today sometimes you don't know, but this kid is a solid kid.
Yeah,
I'm
he
sure
is,
in
and he's
real
got
life,
hell of a
he does
talent,
just as
and
well.
I don't doubt that at all. And right now, Milty, we're heading down the backstretch here. Why don't we ride with Isaac here, Milty, and walk us through a lap
Let's get
here
some
at
man car.
the mecca of motorsports here.
Coming out of turn 4, right up against the wall there. We have one of few going down the historic straightaway at Indy 500. You see the podium on the left there. You got the one marker, and up you see him right there. He lifts off. Maybe probably not much brake here, and definitely no brake here in turn 2. Lift and roll. You want to carry as much momentum as you can.
Yeah, we can see Matty
And get
Watkins
back on
right
the
on his
gas
back
and
bumper here, Milty, and he's going to push him right up
that gets
against
it.
Mark DeSenza, I bet.
Yeah, and he's watching that. He's look. Okay, find your apex. Go down, right down to the line there. Just breezing that line up against the wall. Down, lift, roll right down there. Pick up the throttle as fast as you can. Best you can. Now look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. Check your gauges. Look in the mirror. Okay. Take a deep breath. Now, okay, now apex again here. This is your focus level, what you got to do. You don't have much time to. You're focused all the way through here.
Just a little bobble there going into 1 there, Milty. You got underneath that white line, like you said, and you could hear the tires get upset by that. And Matty Watkins right up on back bumper again, but they gave him some room for the kid to get it back underneath him, and he did that very well.
And when you miss a corner here, he gets as we saw a lap ago, Mark through that same corner there in between 3 and 4, got a little. I think he used his tires up a little bit. One mistake here definitely changes your tire wear. He comes back. He's got it. Got to give him the lane here.
Oh, and it's some tight racing there, Milty, into the short chute.
He gives him the lane. You see him. He sees it in the mirror.
He's got to get right now underneath him, and got to get underneath and get that straightaway. You know, that's some real pro racing. Milty, that short chute there is really hard to be side by side there.
But you're watching your mirror because he gets your attention on the straightaway. So then you got to not only hit your apex point, you got to make a decision in your mind: am I beat or not beat? Do I defend or do I? And he did just
and
right.
we see pit stops here, Milty. Mark DeSenza and Isaac both.
Slamming on the brakes.
Nice job by both there.
Come on here. He actually got the advantage on Mark here.
Yeah, we can see he got right
He's
up
got
on.
the pole, so he's got the first. He's got the first spot. No. Or
Well, Matt
got
Watkins is.
Matt did,
He has the 3rd spot, but yeah, this will be a drag race off a pit lane. Let's follow Isaac into his pits. And and he has a backup. Okay, so let's see that slight mistake. We see Sean Reap also in. We're now in Sean's car, now back up into Mark's car. We can see Sean right behind him. And
tires. Come on, son, get it.
And we can see Mark out.
Inside, 55,
And that
55. He gets to 62. So Mark, he loses a little time to Mark. Be careful here. Oh, here comes Reap on the inside.
And we're back with Isaac there. Now remember, you gotta go around this whole access road, Milty. Oh, and Sean loose! But he saved it nicely. But Isaac now will take advantage of that and go back around him.
That's how hard it is, folks. the outside.
And
Check your
TG going
mirrors.
by on the outside. So now we're right into the thick of green flag stops, Milty. And that was our leader, TG Reese there,
Brian
Milty.
Johnson is
And
following your pit out. Oh, everybody's pitting. Matt Watkins pitting. We got to catch that stuff. The GOAT, the greatest pitter of all time, except for maybe Davian. He's exiting pit road.
yeah, Pop's out, Jerry's out, Josh is out, and there's Matty Watkins out. And we can see Matt getting that apex even on this access road, Milty. And that's right where Sean lost it
I
there.
love this in-car stuff, dude. I appreciate you throwing that out there, and I think a lot of guys like to see some of that.
And look at the scramble behind Matt Watkins as he exits the pit lane, Milty. And Matt Watkins is going to be our leader after these green flag stops, I think.
They will be good to go, fuel and tires.
And Matt Watkins with a huge advantage on these green flag stops. If once we cross the line here, Milty, we're going to see what shakes out.
Yeah, I'm going to step away for just a second. Sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers.
So TG still out, it appears, with a 50-second lead on everyone. And there's TG going down pit lane, and we'll follow him in. Matt Watkins is second at 50 seconds back, so Matty will probably assume the lead here. We'll watch TG, and we can also see the racing surface to your right there. And when we see the field zoom by, that will be position changing for TG. So let's see where that comes out with that 50-second lead. He's on his left side tires, and he's down and away. Still haven't been passed yet. TG coming to the end of pit lane. We can hear the field bearing down on him. And we can hear him coming, TG. And there's Matty Watkins leading that 4-car train by TG. So he's in 5th, now he's in 6th, now he's in 7th. So TG came in with the lead, comes out in about 7th position. And he'll be good to go the rest of the race as well. Let's see if he can catch back up with those fresher tires. But right now, Isaac trying to make a move on Mark DeSenza for 2nd place. And the kid is being and he gets a little out of shape there on the inside of Mark, and that's going to cost him that position. Looked like he may have been able to pull it off if he could have held on there, but he wiggled, and Mark took right back that spot. And now Sean and Josh Ellick are all over the kid, and he's going to have his hands full now with just 12 laps remaining. Matt Watkins is our leader.
We got a big old pack on his yin-yang.
Yeah, Matt Watkins is our leader with a tremendous green flag stop. Mark DeSenza 2nd. Isaac is in 3rd, but he's being challenged by Sean and Josh Elliker. Josh Elliker driving a great race here, Milty, and he's right where he needs to be to win this thing now. And he's separated himself. There's only 6 cars here, and they've really separated themselves. It's going to be a winner from these 6 cars if we don't get a caution.
That's what they do, and this is pretty much, you look at the cream of the crop there, it has rose to the top.
Matt Watkins, Mark DeSenza are 1-2 in points, or 1-2 in the battle here. Isaac and Sean are right there, though, and they're not going away. Now Josh Elliker on the inside of Sean, and he's going to try to make that stick now. Not an easy place to pass, Milty. Just very hard, and he got loose there, and it's going to mean Sean and Jerry will get by him. And you can, just as I said that, Milty.
That's what you need. You need a guy to make a mistake, or you need to be able to just, it's all about the corners and the, and in God, I can't remember the name of those. The area between the 2 corners, yeah. Brain dead. Anyway, that area right there is critical.
Well, I'll trust you.
You don't know either. you would tell me.
I don't even know what you're talking about, so maybe that's why I don't
Well,
want.
this track is basically shaped like a square
Yeah,
and
it's a big rec. No, it's shaped like a rectangle, Milton, not a
yeah.
square.
Well, but those corners are in between the corners. That
Yeah,
straightaway right
that's a
there
short
has got
shoot.
a name.
That's the
The
short
short
shoot.
shoot. That's it. In between and the short shoot that's where you make yourself available to get them coming out of turn 2 and turn 4.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yes. In a nutshell, Milty, yes, that's what you do.
Just get in the car and drive
And
out.
but the problem, Milty, is when you get in that short shoot side by side, it can be disaster for both cars. Well, someone has to give.
Well, that's the thing, and these guys know that, so you have to put yourself in, just like we saw Matt Watkins pass.
Oh, and
Isaac
Jerry
earlier.
gets a little out of shape
Oh.
there, but
Well,
it holds
they're
on
pushing,
to
though.
it, and that's
They realize it's got go time here.
that
But
was a
you gotta
great
set
save.
up. You gotta set up.
That's gonna
yeah,
possibly cost him though. Josh gonna
Yeah.
make one more stab at this. Josh gathered it back in after getting out of shape, Milty. It's really, when you get out of shape, your focus is shattered momentarily, and sometimes it's very hard to get it back.
and short shoots. The thing is this is a track you have to race like a bully a little bit. I mean, you don't wreck nobody, but you have to force your way in there, and then show that you're going to take it. If you don't have it, you don't have it. You back off. You got to be a bully, and you also got to be just like this, where Mark gets that run.
And Mark now really low.
Who's going to go with him? Who's going to go with him?
No one went with him, so he has to tuck back in behind Matt Watkins. Taking a look at from the FSB helicopter, piloted by our boss man, Jim Ray. Just fresh off his helicopter training, Milty. So,
tasks big time.
yeah, and so thought a great place to admin the race was from the FSB helicopter. We can see Josh there in the bottom of our picture making yet another stab at it with Jerry. But look at Jerry staying in that draft, disciplined, just not fighting that position, just doing where he needs to do, and he holds them off yet again. That's a great battle for fourth and fifth and sixth place there.
It just shows you, just like you said, how hard it is to pass here.
Yeah, and Josh is going to try it one more time, it looks like.
By the way, folks, they're not going to stay like this. They're just waiting.
7 laps to go.
Because these guys want to win this race, so they're not going to play follow the goat here forever.
No, they're not. And certainly Mark DeCenza will never play follow the fill in the blank ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that will not happen, and neither will Isaac. So these guys are going to force Matt Watkins to win this race.
Okay, if I was in these guys' position, okay, Mark DeCenza's going to make that move. You got to make it with 2 or 3 to go so you get another chance, but you don't want to do it so it throws you off. What you want to do is do it where, these guys, you're going to get the 34 to go with you.
Ooh, and Sean almost looked like he brushed the wall coming out of 2 there, Milty.
You need help. You need some help here, and you might as well do it pretty quick here. Set it up. This track is so fast and rhythmic and difficult. So much letting off the gas and getting back on the gas.
And looks like we're at it again with Jerry and Josh there in the back of our lead pack here. But Josh again gets held off by Jerry. That's at least 3 or 4 times, Milty, and what a great battle.
Great show, man. That's his option, and he's got no help. So just like you said, Jerry Walters is picking up the draft, and he is not. They're waiting. They need somebody to jump out.
Yeah,
on
and
that.
then it's almost like some tandem, like that old Talladega tandem racing right here, Milty, with Matty Watkins and Mark DeCenza, and then a group of Isaac and Sean, and then a group of Jerry and Josh. And
if you're scared by a dog, like Jim Ray says,
and here we
come
go
on.
again. And Josh
Jerry.
finally gets by him, and you see he made that stick early onto the straightaway, Milty, and now he'll
Good
get the
job.
benefit
Good
of that
job.
draft all the way down. Great job by Josh there,
It
and
shows you
Jerry.
why
Good, some
he's
good,
been
clean,
he's
hard
been
racing
gone.
there.
Yeah, he's been gone for a while, but just because of doing life, because he's in great standing in the league. He's won lots of races and he's finished well because of that smart type of racing. Raced against 47 many times and have the ultimate respect for him.
Yeah, and we can see now Matt and Mark have gotten a little gap now between Isaac, Sean, and Josh now, with Jerry trying to keep up now and not
Oh
lose.
boy,
But Josh is on a mission here. He's trying to pick up another spot and
this is
get.
us using up every inch of this track, and Matt is on rails. He's got the nose down, coming up on lap traffic. You know,
Yeah, now.
lappers are going to get out of the way, but it's not like Daytona where you got 3 lanes or
No,
4.
and it
This is
really.
Indy, so it
Uh,
really
you said it, Milty.
coagulates everything.
Yeah, it does, and it also depends where you catch them, Milty. Catching them going
Pinky,
into a
pink,
turn or something, it could
yeah,
be really funky. You
there you
want to.
go. There's Pinky. Good job, Pinky. Get down low.
Yeah, but.
But still, he's got to stay on it. He's racing too, man.
And there's
Oh, he
contact.
got marked. Not so good. That's got to bring out the caution.
It
That's going to be
is.
the end of the race right there. Matt Watkins will be your winner. Not the way we want to see that finish.
Not at all, Milty. Wow, that's. Yeah, and that's with 2 laps to go, Milty. This race is not going to finish under green now. Mark has retired. I'm sure bitterly disappointed. Uh,
Yeah, that's.
it's some of the perils of sim racing, Milty.
Well, it's we had the epic finish about 3 weeks ago, and they're not all going to be like that. And but this was great racing, great show. Still, stuff like that happens. It's some things are out of your control. You seen Mark just exit and get out, not say a word, and at FSB Racing, sportsmanship is
Absolutely, Milty.
paramount, and
Absolutely.
he wins a lot of races, but he also acts exemplarily. Sure, he's pissed off right now. I mean, why wouldn't you be? But this isn't for real. It's not for money. It's not for. It's just for fun. So, and he handles himself well.
Yeah, Mark's a professional, and
Yeah, absolutely.
he'll deal with it the way he needs to deal with it, and it's obviously a big disappointment for him, to say the least. And of course, I'm sure he knows that not only I'm sure he felt he could win this race, but the points hit now will not make him any happier. Whether I
Absolutely, yeah.
like to say that or
And that won't make Pinky any happier. I'm sure he
no, of
feels
course not. And
terrible
I
right
mean,
now.
Pinky's a pro too, and you know, those things happen.
I've been there, done that. So
Yeah,
it's
you could write a novel on my wrecks. So,
when you're trying to get out of the way, you can overthink it. And AD,
yeah,
as we were
and
broadcasting it, we were saying,
catch someone right in the wrong part here at Indy,
part,
and that can happen.
it makes us look pretty smart.
Yeah, I guess so. That's what we call in the movie business, Milty, foreshadowing. But as the pace car has caught the field and Matty Watkins is our leader, we are on the final lap. So as Matty Watkins crosses the line, he will be our winner. Looks like our finish will be Matt and then Isaac in second, Sean Reap third, Josh fourth, and Jerry
We'll,
fifth.
we'll try to get the top 3 on FSB Extra after, and then maybe go through the points a little bit.
Yeah, and see what kind of implication this incident has on the point standings. Of course,
That's
No
racing,
one,
man.
Milty.
I mean, it's
I
racing.
mean, besides besides Pinky and Mark, Milty, the other person that really didn't want to see that happen was our winner, Matt Watkins. Because you know Matt, he's a competitor. He doesn't want his other competitors, you know, taken out so he can win. He wants to beat them on the track as well.
Absolutely.
And I'm
I
sure
know
Matt
that.
is very
We know
disappointed
that
for
person.
Mark with such a history that him and Mark have had with such great battles and points championships and
Oh, we
races.
watched.
You know
We
Matt wants
watched.
to see that.
We watched Matt in the All Star race at the NRT 500 and flying across the start finish line upside, spinning like a top for second place uh, against
And that is our checkered
the
flag,
all
Milty.
the leagues that the top leagues that run this, and we were fortunate enough to be invited, and we had a stud in the race there. We had several studs in the final, which is a week long elimination tournament. Get there, and I bet you he had way more fun losing that race than he did winning this one because he wanted to battle.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure. And
How about Isaac? Just solid runs. Uh, just great testament to his character and skill.
absolutely, Milty. Great runs by that top five. Jerry and Josh had a fabulous battle going on there for lap after lap. And TG with a great finish, Milty. He made a gamble there on the last. He stayed out as long as possible, hoping for a caution. Didn't happen. He ducked in, got his service, came back out. Did a great job finishing sixth, coming back. Good to see that. Pops with a solid top 10, along with Ryan and Webb. And Ken Soska also top 10 for Kenny. Good job, Ken. And then last couple cars are here on the lead lap, Milty, 12
Burn them
cars.
off, son. Kiss the bricks.
Is Rick in
Good
the
son.
43 and Dan Jones in the James Bond 007 car. He rounds out our lead lap cars. Then Dog and Ken Hansen 1 lap down, 13th and 14th. Disappointing, I'm sure, for Ken Hansen as well, Milty. He was really right in that thick of things on that first run. And then possibly a black flag, Milty,
Wow.
and a disappointing 14th place finish for Ken Hansen.
I think Matt Watkins just did a burnout. It's on the pavement. It says www.mattwatkins.com or something there. I mean, that
It's
thing was
possible.
crazy, man.
It's possible.
So let me get a beer
Yeah,
and I'll
so
grab these guys real
yeah,
quick.
so as Milty goes and does that, we're taking a look at the final standings there. Pick out your favorite driver. Obviously, some guys a little disappointed with this finish. Obviously, Jeff Hale had that slight contact there with Kenny and ended his day early. And I'm sure very disappointed for Jeff. He was right up there in that first group to start the run there. Sammy had some also caught up in a pit lane pile up there, not of his own doing. I don't know if Sammy looked like he was on the brakes really hard and just couldn't avoid running into Brian Lamb there, and both of those cars really suffered from that damage. And both Sammy and Brian with disappointing finishes, I'm sure. And of course, a 15th place finish for Mark DeSenza, which uh, is obviously another disappointment for Mark. And of course, anyone viewing the race will know that that's a if you've been racing, you've been that person, and you've been the other person too, and so you kind of feel for both of those guys and hope that they'll be back and race another day. And looks like we're starting to get our top podium finishers here into the booth. Sean is in. And again, Sean, great finish. And again, Sean, man, I took I think 2 weeks off between broadcasts here. The last broadcast I thought was one of the most intense Winston Cup races I've seen in years. And then tonight, toward the end there, boy, that was some good, hard, clean racing there, right up until the end there.
Absolutely. Yeah, it came down to those green flag stops. I think I picked up a lot of spots there. I think I went in 8th or 9th. And I was waiting. My strategy was try to pit within the 18, 20 lap window there. And as the laps ticked off, I'm like, oh, we're going to have to take more fuel. We're going to have to take more fuel. Where is everybody? Come on, let me see those pit messages. Ended up pitting with Mark with 1 gallon of fuel left, but I guess I nailed it. And that made the difference, got me up there in the top 5. Dyson ended up there with those guys, and picked up that last spot when Mark DeCenza had his issue. Had to fight like heck to keep Josh Elliker off me too there. I hope he's not too mad I pinched him off 4.
Yeah,
That
we were watching that great battle that was really developing behind you, Sean. Josh and Jerry were just tooth and nail every lap. I'm sure you were looking up in the rear view hoping that they would stay that way. You could maybe mix it up with the top 3 there, but yeah, some good hard clean racing. And now Matt and Isaac has joined us. So Milty, wow, that was a intense race right up to that caution.
Right, good job, guys.
Yeah, Isaac going for a Pro Cup championship, and Matt, you're Matt. I mean, obviously you didn't want to see it end like that. Tough. I'm sure Pinky feels like shit, but yeah, it was before that. It was a great battle between you guys. Talk about that, you guys.
Come here, Isaac.
Yeah, one. You go first.
Go,
You
Isaac.
want to? Okay.
Alright, well, yeah, I mean, I kind of abused my tires there trying to catch back up to Mark and Matt there. I had a bad pit stop. I kind of overshot my pit a little bit, so it kind of put me in jail there. But I thought Sean was gonna get me there. He had some good runs, but he just kept on pushing me, and thank you for that. I mean, you gave me at least a chance there a few times trying to get around him. I actually got under Mark there one time, and I kind of got a little too far down there and got a little bit loose. So that kind of killed my momentum. That was the only time I really able to get a good enough run to get under him. So
Yeah, I was doing what I could to
it was
push you.
fun all the way to the end. Yeah, I wanted that one bad. It's my home track. So I was running pretty good there, but only won one time there, so I was trying to get another one.
Yeah, that was some good back and forth there. And Isaac, we saw in that earlier pit stop before the one you overshot the pits in the first stops, you were able to get out in front of Matt, and that's something that we don't see very often. So you had one really good one, and then maybe gave a little of that back with that second one.
With four tire stop and Jerry coming around you in front of you as a team, he executed his stop perfect, so he didn't block you in. He was right in his marks, and when you came out, you had to turn right and smoke the tires, and you still didn't lose any time. That was an epic pit stop.
Yeah, I wish I could have done that one again.
Well, Matt, you had a pretty good battle there with Mark going, and were you anticipating what he was going to do at the end there? Did you know I'm sure you knew he was going to make at least one more run at you.
Yeah, I was trying to save my tires a bit and anticipate when he was going to make a charge, because if he caught me off guard one time past me, I probably couldn't get back by him. So I saw him trying to make one move earlier, about 6 to go. I knew he was going to start going, so I just finally went hard then, and I think I would have been all right. But definitely feel for him. Yeah, he did a good job all race long, so that was a very tough deal for him. But happens sometimes, unfortunately. And but yeah, it was a fun battle all night with him, Isaac, all those guys. This track is so hard to pass on, so hitting's pretty important here.
You had the nose on the car, and I've raced you here before in many different tracks, but your exit was just mechanical. I mean, you just the hardest guy, except maybe Jeff Hale, but one of those two, him and to have behind you at the end of the race, they're great passers, and you were able to get that exit coming out of the corner, which was whatever they did before that, you were pulling out, and they just couldn't get a run on you. Impressive.
Yeah, learned a little bit from the first pit stop because I come in way too hard and blew a tire and got caught for speeding. So that caution definitely saved me there because I sped and blew a tire.
That's
So I learned
usually
from
what
that
you
and-
do, though.
Yeah,
Only
so
Matt
I'm looking
Watkins.
forward to the next
Only
time.
Matt Watkins can come back from that on a Friday.
Yeah,
night, I can tell you.
I know.
He gets bored.
You're talking to the man who ran out of fuel in his pit stop and had his teammates bump him into the stall and still won the
Oh
damn
man, that
race.
was
Yeah.
good. I remember that.
We know who you are.
That was good times. Appreciate it.
Yeah, like he needs all these little extra breaks just to make sure that he wins another race.
It's just handicap.
He had
It's
another
interesting.
race. Nah, it's all good, man. I mean, he's that's gotta have the best to beat the best. So we appreciate Matt coming in, and
Yep.
he's racing hard. And now Matt, of course, the flip side of this, Matt, is of course
Points.
a nice cushion now in the points, a little breathing room we'll call it, just with Mark's misfortune there, Matt. So a little sigh of relief maybe after this race too for that.
We'll see. 2 races to go, so anything can happen.
Yeah, and looking at seeing if our points have been updated, doesn't look like they're updated just yet. But looking at the schedule, guys, our last 2 races, Kentucky Night, the SDT version,
Oh,
and
good
then
track.
and then
yes.
I think
Before that
one of
Boing.
Great track.
one of Winston Cup's most famous tracks, Texas World, will wrap up the season. So, guys, give us a little insight on those last 2 races: Kentucky 2011, the night version, and Texas World.
Well, Kentucky, you want to make sure you got a good seat for all that bouncing that's going to be going on under the car.
Yeah, two distinct different corners, and possible multiple lines there. That's exciting. Always great, close side-by-side racing there.
Yeah, these Winston Cup cars are great on the 1.5 milers, and then Texas World runs almost like a super speedway. You just breathe it a little bit, but you got to watch out for that wall. It doesn't hypnotize you coming off turn 2.
Yeah, Matt, you've had some success here at obviously both tracks. Texas World, though, one of our traditional Winston Cup tracks, Matt. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, it's pretty much like a super speedway, but near the end of the run, tires can definitely wear out, and you can start pushing off the corner. So you got to save the tires a little bit, and then it's you can actually start dancing spots on the long run. Fun track.
Yeah, so some racing still to be decided with these 2 races to go, Milty.
Guys, what's the poke up situation with points wise?
I'm 4 back. I had a bad first race, and I've won the past 3 races to get to 4 back Mark DeCenza. So we got Kansas and Dover last 2 races.
Wow. And
Yeah.
you're both really good at those, man. It's gonna be a shootout.
Is it
Good luck.
Dover that you call DeCenza's house there? Is he just like completely...
That's Rick
Johnson. Oh, Rick
That's
Johnson.
Rick Johnson,
Okay.
Yeah, that's Dover's.
He lives across the river.
Yeah, he walks across the street to race there.
Concrete Rick doesn't flow right, and Concrete Johnson sounds like a name in an entirely different...
This is
So
a
find a new
PG.
nickname
This is
for
a
him.
PG broadcast. So.
Yeah, so you gotta have a nickname for him like Concrete Carl there.
Real quick, I missed that. I may have been away, but Sean, that first pit stop incident, when the car came across in front of you. I guess you didn't get no damage, or
I didn't hit a thing. It slowed my entry into the pits a little bit, but yeah, what happened was I went to pit. I was going to pit once again with the first guy in my window who was in the lead pack there, because my plan was to do 18, 18, 18
yeah.
if I could, and so I pitted with the Senza, and 29 got turned coming off 4. I don't know if he just lost her or if he got help, but he was sliding right in front of me. I was already on the brakes. I'm like, well, I'm committed here, so the only way I'm going to wave off this pit stall is if the yellow waves, and it didn't. So I just maneuvered around him, made my pit stop, and got out with Mark. And I think then we caught a caution, and
So you didn't
that
get
negated that.
Yeah, you didn't get any damage right there. We weren't sure.
Nope, didn't touch the
There
thing.
was like 3 major incidents going on at once.
And there was one time in that, I think it was in that last stretch there, where I was trying to help Isaac close up on the front 2 there, where I hit the wall with the loudest sound that I've ever heard from this game without actually taking any damage. I was sure I just pancaked the side, but hit F9 and there was nothing.
I've had those moments too where you dodge a bullet and you're lucky. It is sim racing. But a heck of a show, guys.
Yeah,
So,
great job, Matt, and our top 3 there, and 2 more races to go, Milty. Still some points battles to be had. Might be now a battle with second and third and fourth place, and Matt Watkins now maybe separating himself from the rest of the field. So we'll see how these points shake out when we take up our next broadcast. We'll definitely try to get you at the very minimum our season finale race.
absolutely, yeah.
All right.
Awesome, looking forward to it, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks,
absolutely. Yeah, congrats, Matt, and our top 3. And thanks for everyone who was watching live on Twitch and will be watching our broadcast. I'll
Yeah.
be posting it onto YouTube, and the post race viewing party will be in full force. So come on out and check it out. And FSBRacing.com is the website, and that's where you got to go if you want to start the process of getting into a field like this one. So that will do it for to this week. Milty, as always, pleasure doing business with you. Matt,
Yeah, thank you,
congrats on the
sir.
win, and Sean and Isaac, great runs, and look forward
Thank
to doing it again next
Thanks.
week.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.